Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
If she has your DNA and it's in you, she's going to want to connect. And once she sees how magnificent and how powerful, and even this form that you did, this profound display of love, you know, in having this platform, I think it's going to blow her mind because, what you're doing here is not just selfish. You're using this situation to help other people find their way. And so even in that where, it's benefiting her, she'll be able to see this. This is part of her legacy. You're part of her legacy. But other people will be able to share in this and say, thank you, brother, because this podcast, this show saved my life.
So I have to be honest and let you know that I screamed a little bit when I heard you say, "What's up, baby?" Ah, man, like what? What are we gonna do? Because this is torture.
Just call my can't bleed and request me. Just call my can't bleed and request me. Just call my can't bleed and request me. Call my can't bleed and request me. Just call my.
From a spark to a flame, it burns bright. Like the feeling when you finally got my name right. Like a star in the dark, you provide light. Yeah, this could turn into something if we align right. I see you trying to change your life cause you want better. What I'm convinced in 6 months better is together. A story written for the ages, so in this short time, let's be open books. Explore pages like, are you down through all the changes? Jah finds out I'm an Israelite. I lose wages, how about the times and every month when you change phases? And after that, getting your cheeks clapped in different places. Matter of fact, I tell you now, you'll need leg braces, cause after camp, do benevolence, sensations, and after camp, excavations and temptations. Move that damn hand, girl, that's a violation. Can you follow orders, I wonder, cause when I'm mad, my voice sound like thunder. It's all love, my pretty dove, just want you to be something that I'm proud of. It's my job to correct, so never disrespect. A white rose, you want to be chose, I'ma hit your camp leader, see how it goes, and pray that he don't oppose, cause that's how this old UPK thing goes. Decently and in order so we escape woes. You really do impress me, and now I can't wait until your spirit reflects me. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you accept me, and take the steps to call my camp leader and
just
request
call
me.
My camp leader and request me. Call my camp leader and request me. Just call my.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting excited. Oh, yeah. I'm getting excited. Yeah, I did hear that music.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my nigga, yeah. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit I never changing, it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners, all them pussy niggas talk the shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. I don't give a lovely fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a lovely fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Hakim, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga, training, put through the baddest conditions. I fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Vladimir, niggas, she know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit. Tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' the different breed of black men. We don't do the bad thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it great. Like, don't forget about my face. We sticking up straight, can't hold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Don't mix with some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? Body wanna win some rank, but never take up as a base. When the law with you ain't no up next, it's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit. We want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the commanding general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue tongue and they say they keep that shit 100. We unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in the with me. You in the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian, we ain't just talking shit. But we living in it, we be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be fresh as hell, take a picture. And we special now with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script from yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Rap in it, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't need it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I send with the gun with the slide for real. I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die for real. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like bitch or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, yeah, hunter, we unaffiliated with them. They tongue and they say they keep that shit 100. We unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. You understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey. That's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, keep going. We good. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The baking soda's only 99 cents.
I'm about to start. They had the music on. Let's go right now. All right. Hey, who's my reader? Who's gonna be my reader? Anyway, this class is gonna be about the Israel-Judah split, and we're gonna go through some scriptures here until my reader comes on, if I even get a reader. I'll read for the time being. So we're going to talk about the Judah-Israel split, because a lot of Christians, you're going to see what some of the things that Christians are saying, and we're going to show. Well, I'm just going to go through the scriptures, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of the misunderstanding that the Christians have about this Judah-Israel split. So we're going to start with 1 Kings 11, verse 1 and 2. Is anybody's out there? Get your pencils and paper out and write some of these scriptures down, because you may need them, because I got some good scriptures here for you. 1 Kings 11, verse 1. It reads, but King Solomon loved many strange women. King Solomon was a player. He had a lot of women. King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh. Daughter of Pharaoh was the Egyptians. He had Egyptian women, the women of the Moabites. He had Chinese women, the women of the Ammonites, Edomites. He had white women, Zidonians, and Hittites. He had African women. He had all kind of women. Solomon had he loved all these women. Verse 2. of the nations, concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them. So the nation, the nation what the Lord said you would, for the children of Israel, the Israelites, you would not go into them, neither shall you come in unto them, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. Everyone that the Most High said don't mess with, Solomon claved it into them with in love. He loved all these different women. And what they're referring to in First Kings is in Deuteronomy 7:3. Let me read that for you. This is what the commandment is. Deuteronomy 7 verse 3, chapter 7 verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Deuteronomy 7:4. For they will turn away thy son from following me. This is the reason why the Most High doesn't want you messing with these different nations of women, because they will turn. It says in verse 4, Deuteronomy 7:4, it says, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy you, destroy thee suddenly. This is what King Solomon did by marrying and loving all these different women. This was the commandment that the Most High gave in Deuteronomy. King Solomon knew this. Deuteronomy 7:5. But thus shall you deal with them. This is how you're supposed to deal with these other people, these other nations. You shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. This is how you're supposed to deal with them. What did Solomon do? He loved them. He was having sex with them. He loved all of them. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. You're supposed to be a holy people. You are not supposed to be, you are a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Israelites are supposed to be above everybody on the face of the earth. And what Solomon did, he married and loved all these strange women that the Most High said you not to give your daughters to and not to give your sons to. That's what Solomon did. He went ahead and was messing with all these different women, with all these different nations of women. Now, I just read in Deuteronomy, that's the commandment that what the Lord said that you were not to do. Solomon did it anyway. So we're going back to 1 Kings, chapter 11. That's what we're in chapter 11. We're going to start with verse 5. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And then earlier he just said this is why you're not supposed to mess with these women, because they will have you worshiping their gods. And this is what Solomon, this is what he fell into. Solomon went after Ashtoreth. So these are the different gods and goddesses of these different women he was messing with. He went in after them. Verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. So he didn't do like his father David. His father David went fully, did everything the Lord said. Mostly. David did some things he wasn't supposed to do, but Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord by messing with all these women, and then following their gods and goddesses. It says, for Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. So, like I said, the reason why you're not supposed to be going after these women is because they will have you following their customs and their gods and goddesses, and that's what Solomon did. And it said in verse 6, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord. The sight of the Lord thinks that's evil. When you're messing with white women, Asian women, Indian, the East Indians, that he considers that evil in the sight of the Lord because you are following after their customs and their gods. You start to follow them. This is what Solomon did. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 9. And the Lord was angry with Solomon. The Lord didn't like what he was doing. The Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord, God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. So the Lord appeared to him twice, and he turned his back on them by following these other gods and goddesses. Verse 10. And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord had commanded. He still went after these other gods. From these other women had talked him into going after their gods and their customs. And it says right here in verse 10, and had the Lord had commanded him concerning this thing. The Lord spoke to him and told him that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. He still did it anyway. All to appease these women or these strange women from these different nations because he loved them. Verse 11, we're in Kings, 1 Kings chapter 11. We're going to go to verse 11. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee and will give it to thy servant. So the Lord said to Solomon, he's going to take the kingdom away from him and give it to Solomon's servant. So we got to find out who the servant is that the Lord is going to give this kingdom to. Because the Lord has said he is not following the commandment. The Lord talked to him, said, get rid of these women, get rid of these fake gods that you're worshiping. He didn't want to do it. So the Lord said, I'm going to take this kingdom away from you. Then we're going to jump to 1 Kings chapter 11. We're still in chapter 11. We're going to jump down to verse 26. And Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, an Ephraimite of Zeradah, Solomon's servant. Here's the servant he was talking about. Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zeruiah, a widow woman. Even he lifted up his hand against the king. Even this servant lifted up his hand against the king. Everybody knew that King Solomon wasn't shit, basically. And even his servant lifted up his hand against the king. They didn't respect this King Solomon because they already knew what was going to happen to him because he's messing with these different women and he's following their gods, and the Lord already commanded him not to do it, and he did it anyway. But now his servant's not even respecting him anymore. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 28. And the man, Jeroboam, was a mighty man of valor. This is Solomon's servant. A mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over the charge of the house of Joseph. He made him in charge of the house of Joseph. And it came to pass that the time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, that the prophet Ahijah, the Shilonite. So a Shilonite the Ahijah the Shalomite is a Levite prophet from Shiloh, is who he is. the prophet from Shiloh, Ahijah the Shalamite, which is a Levite prophet from Shiloh, found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment. And they two were alone in the field. So this prophet comes to Jeroboam, Solomon's servant, and speaks to him in the field. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon and will give 10 tribes to thee. So the Lord, Ahijah, what's his name? Ahijah the Shalamite, the prophet from Shiloh, told Jeroboam that the Lord was going to take 10 tribes from Solomon out of the 12 tribes. He's going to take 10 of them and give them to Jeroboam, which is Solomon's servant. And earlier, the Lord already said, I'm going to take these, I'm going to take the kingdom from you. So when he gives the kingdom, the 10 tribes, all Solomon has is 2 tribes, which would have been Judah and Benjamin. And of course, you got Levi is in both, because they're the Levitical priesthood. So you have Levi in the 10 tribes, and you have Levi in Judah and Benjamin. Levi's in all the tribes. 1 Kings 11 and 33. Because that they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of Zidonian, and Chemosh, the god of Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, which are the Ammonites, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in my eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgment, as did David his father. So he's saying this is why he rendered, he took the kingdom, the 10 tribes away from him, because of he did all these things. He worshiped Ashtoreth, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, the Ammonites, and they have not walked in the ways of which is right in mine eye, right in the Lord's eye. The Lord told him not to do these things. He wanted to do it anyway. This is what happened with Solomon. 1 Kings 11 and 35. We're going to jump down to verse 35. That was verse 33. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hands and will give it unto thee, even the 10 tribes. So he's going to take 10 tribes of the 12 and give it to Jeroboam, the Ephraimite. He's from Ephraim. He's going to give it to him. Verse 39. And I will for this afflict the seed of David, but not forever. So he's going to say he's going to afflict the seed of David, but not forever. Verse 40, Solomon sought, therefore, to kill Jeroboam. He thought he could kill him to get his nation back. So Solomon, he plotted to kill Jeroboam. And Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt. So he found out about it. Jeroboam found out about it, and he fled into Egypt unto Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. So he stayed hiding in Egypt until Solomon died, because Solomon was trying to kill him, because Jeroboam was supposed to be in charge of the 10 tribes. And Solomon wanted to keep all 12 tribes, but the Lord was already against him. So all the thing he's doing ain't going to work. So after Solomon dies, Jeroboam, he's in Egypt, hiding in Egypt until Solomon dies. Because remember, Jeroboam is his servant. And the Lord said, I'm going to give this kingdom to your servant. Jeroboam is the servant that he was going to give it to him. First King, we're going to jump to chapter 12. We're going to start at 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 2. Verse 2. And it came to pass, when Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he had fled the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt. So the son of Nabat, Jeroboam, he heard that it came to pass that Jeroboam had heard that Solomon had died. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 3. That they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, remember, Rehoboam is Solomon's son. You got Jeroboam is Solomon's servant. Rehoboam is Solomon's son. So they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all his congregation of Israel came and spoke unto Rehoboam. Because remember, Solomon had just died. So Rehoboam is now the king of Israel. First Kings chapter 12, verse 4. Thy father, this is what Jeroboam and his congregation and the 10 tribes came to Rehoboam and said, thy father, which is Solomon, thy father made our yoke grievous. Now, therefore, make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee. So Jeroboam and the 10 tribes went to Rehoboam, Solomon's son, and said, your father made us work too hard. It was grievous what he had us doing. If you make our workload lighter, we will serve you. We will bring the 10 tribes back in and we will serve Rehoboam, Solomon's son. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 5. And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come to me again. And the people departed. So he said, come back in 3 days. Let me think about it. Rehoboam said, let me think about it. All Jeroboam wanted them to do is make their yoke lighter, their work lighter. Because their father Solomon had was real hard on them. So he said, just make the work lighter, make it easier for us, and we'll serve you. And then Rehoboam, Solomon's son, said, give me 3 days, come back in 3 days, let me think about it. And I'll let you know. First Kings chapter 12, verse 6. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father, while he yet lived, and said, how do ye advise that I may answer this people? So he went to the old school guys and said, what should I do? What was your advice? How should I answer Jeroboam? And the old dudes, in verse 7, they said, and they spoke unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto the people this day, and wilt serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, and they will be thy servants forever. So the older people said, speak nice to them, be cool with them, and they will serve you forever. This is what the older guys were saying. The ones that work with Solomon. These are the old school guys. He went to them first. That's what the old guys were saying. Just be cool with them, speak nice to them, and they'll serve you forever. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 8. But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. So he didn't want to listen to the old men, so he went with his homeboys. He went and asked his homeboys, what should I do? The guys that he grew up with. So he asked them, the young men, so what do y'all think about this? What should I do? Verse 9, 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 9. And he said unto them, what counsel give ye that we may answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which my father did put upon us lighter? So he asked the young guys, that his homeboys, they want us to make it lighter and they'll serve me. What do you think I should do? The old man said, just make it lighter and be nice to them and they'll serve you. He didn't like that answer. So he went to his homeboys. And the young men that were grown with him spoke unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak unto the people that spake unto you, saying. So this is what the young men, his homeboys, told him to do. Thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shall you say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. So basically, he's saying his father didn't have any balls, basically what he's saying. So Jeroboam, that's what he was telling them. And now, whereas my father did lade you with a heavy yoke, this is verse 11. And now, whereas my father did lay you a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. And my father has chastised you with whips, I will chastise you with scorpions. So whatever my father did to you, you say it was too harsh, he's going to be even harsher. That's what the young men advised him to do. Be even harsher to him. Make the yoke heavier. They chastise you with whips, chastise you with scorpions. What do scorpions do? Scorpions will kill you. Instead of just whipping them, he's saying kill them. They go against you, kill them. Don't just whip them. Make their yoke harder. Make them work harder. That's what the young man told him to do. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 12. So Jeroboam, which is the Ephraimite, and all the people came to Rehoboam, which is Rehoboam, remember, is Solomon's son. The third day, they came back on the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, Come to me again on the third day. So they came back on that third day for their answer, because they remember King Rehoboam said, Come back in 3 days and I'll have your answer for you. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 13. And the king answered the people roughly and forsook the old men's counsel that they had gave him. So he was talking harsh to him. He was talking crazy to him. And forsook what the old man had said, to be just talk nice to him and they'll serve you. He didn't want to do that. He listened to his homeboys that said, be even harder on them. Kick them in the ass. Who cares what they talking about? Make it harder. And the king answered the people roughly and forsook the old man's counsel that they had gave him. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 14. And spoke to them after the counsel of the young men. So after he talked to the young men, this is when he spoke to them, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, and I will chastise you with scorpions. So he said, my father was hard on you. I'm going to be even harder on you. And my father chastised, he just whipped you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to make it harder. I ain't going to just whip you. He's basically saying, I'm not just going to beat your ass. I'm going to kill you. It's what the young man told him to do. Read that again. And he spoke to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy. That's what Jeroboam was saying. Your father made our yoke heavy. We want it to be lighter, and we'll just make our yoke lighter, and we'll worship you. We'll serve you. It says, and he spoke to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. I will make it even harder on you. My father also chastised you with whips. So he was whipping them when they wasn't doing what they're supposed to do. He says, but I will chastise you with scorpions. You know, scorpions, they sting you and they'll kill you, put that poison in you. So he basically he's saying, I ain't just going to whip you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to make it harder. First Kings chapter 12, verse 15. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spoke to Ahijah and the Shilonite unto Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. So the king hearkened unto his people for the cause from the Lord. that he might perform his saying. So the saying was the Lord said he was going to take the kingdom away from Solomon and give it to Jeroboam, his servant. So after that, what Rehoboam said to Jeroboam, of course, they're not going to go for that. And this is when the prophecy comes true. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 16. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? So he says, well, what do we got to do with David? We're the 12 tribes, 10 tribes. What do we got to do with David is Judah? What do we got to do with you? That's what the 10 tribes were saying at the time. You don't want to make our yoke harder? You're talking about killing us and not just whipping us. You're going to make it harder on us? Well, what do we have to do with you and David? What do we have to do with Judah? That's what he's saying. That's what Jeroboam and the 10 tribes are saying. What do we got to do with David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed into their tents. So he's saying, well, since you're Judah, you just handle Judah. We got nothing to do with you. That's what the 10 tribes are saying. You're Judah, the 10 tribes, we ain't got nothing to do with you. That's how you want to be, then you on your own. Don't come to us for nothing. Don't ask for nothing. We ain't under you no more. That's what he's saying. Let me read it again. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, when Israel was said that he's not going to be softer on them, he's not going to make the yoke lighter, he's going to whip them harder, he's going to kill them, he's going to make their everything harder on them. The people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? He said, we're not even part of Judah. So why we got to listen to you? This is what they're saying. Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. We don't have any inheritances with Judah. That's what 10 tribes is saying. O Israel, now see to thine own house. So Israel, we'll go to our own house. You do your thing, we'll do our thing. That's what they're saying. He says, O Israel, now see to thine own house, David. You see your own house, which is Judah, and we'll do our thing. So Israel departed unto their tents. This is what's going on. The 10 tribes said, well, we ain't got nothing. We're not part of Judah. You just deal with Judah, and we'll deal with the rest of the 10 tribes. We'll do our thing. You do your thing. That's what they're saying. First Kings chapter 12, verse 19. So Israel rebelled against the house of David until this day. So Israel, the 10 tribes, rebelled against Judah, would actually be Judah and Benjamin, but the 10 tribes rebelled against Judah. So you do your thing, we'll do our thing. We ain't listening to you no more. You want to make it harder on us? You know what? We ain't gonna do nothing you say. You're not our king no more. We don't know nothing about. We don't care what you're saying. This is what they're saying. This is what so Israel rebelled against the house of David, which is Judah. They rebelled against them. And it came to pass, verse 20. I'm in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 20. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. So the only one that followed the house of David was the tribe of Judah. The rest of they said, we're going to have Jeroboam and our king. We got our own king. You do your own thing, is what happened. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam had come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation. Jeroboam, they called him to the congregation and made him king over all Israel. They made him the king. They followed Jeroboam, which is what the Lord said was going to happen. That his servant, Solomon's servant, was going to take over Israel. This is what happened right here. All of Israel except for Judah. And there was none that followed the house of Judah or the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. House of David, only one that followed the house of David was Judah. Because remember, house of David, then you have Solomon, and under that was Rehoboam. Nobody's following them no more. They all followed Jeroboam, the Ephraimite. Read it one more time. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David. None of the 10 tribes followed the house of David. None of them. But the house of Judah. All only. It says, but the house of Judah only. First Kings chapter 12, verse 21. Verse 21. And when when Rehoboam had came to Jerusalem and assembled all the house of Judah with the tribes of Benjamin. So we got that's why you got Judah and Benjamin. That would be 10 tribes went to Jeroboam, and then 2 tribes, was Judah and Benjamin, was under Rehoboam. And when Rehoboam came to Jerusalem and assembled all the house of Judah with the house of Benjamin, and 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. So Rehoboam got together, it was with Judah, and got Benjamin together, and 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors. So he got an army together of Judah and Benjamin to fight against the house of Israel, which is Jeroboam, to bring the kingdom of Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. So they trying to bring the kingdom back together again. He's trying to bring them back. So he's going to fight them to make them, to force them to come back. So he's got this big army he's already assembled of Judah and Benjamin to fight against the other 10 tribes to bring them back into under Rehoboam, son of Solomon. Now, Jeroboam, the Ephraimite, he messed up. He messed up. He was king of the 10 tribes. So at this point right here, he's king of the 10 tribes. Rehoboam only has 2 tribes. He got a big army together. And he's gonna go to war with the 10 tribes to force them to come back. But Jeroboam, you would think would have had a bigger army with the 10 tribes, but he made a big mistake. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 25. Then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and dwelt therein, and went out from thence to build, and built Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David? If this people go up to do sacrifice to the house of the Lord in Jerusalem, then shall the heart of the people turn again to the Lord. So remember, Rehoboam and the Judites were still in Jerusalem. So Jeroboam is saying, if my 10 tribes goes down to Jerusalem to worship like they always did during the feast, what is it called? Oh man, I got My memory just went. The Passover, when we go into the Passover, we're supposed to go to Jerusalem. Jeroboam is thinking, well, if the 10 tribes go on back down to Jerusalem with Rehoboam, that they might start going back, want to go back to him. That's what Jeroboam is saying. Because remember, he's king of the 10 tribes. And Jeroboam said in his heart, he's saying this in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David? He's thinking they're going to return to the house of David when they go down for the Passover to Jerusalem. If this, verse 27, if this people go up to do sacrifice into the house of the Lord in Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again to their Lord, even unto Rehoboam, king of Judah. And they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, king of Judah. So he's thinking if they come back down for the Passover into Jerusalem, that they're going to start wanting to be part of Jerusalem again and be part of King David and be part of Rehoboam, and then they're going to kill Jeroboam. That's what Jeroboam is afraid of, that the people are going to kill him and they're going to go back to Rehoboam, king of Judah. Verse 28. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So what he did, he told the people, it's too much trouble to go to the Passover in Jerusalem. I'm going to make 2 golden calves for you to worship. This is the God of Israel right here. You can stay here and worship these 2 golden calves that I made. Let me read that again. Whereupon the king, which is Jeroboam, whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, he made 2 calves. I mean, back in the Moses day, they only made 1 and a whole bunch of them died. He gonna make 2 of them. He made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it's too much for you to go to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods. He put these 2 calves, this is your gods right here. O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So he said, these 2 golden calves that I've just created, this is the Lord that brought you out of Egypt. This is it right here. Why go down to Jerusalem when you can just worship right here? This is what he's doing. And he said, verse 29, we're in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 29. And he set the one in Bethel and the other in Dan. Verse 30. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. So the people of Israel went and worshiped these things. Because Jeroboam told him, why go down there? He's thinking of himself. He's thinking if you go to Jerusalem and you want to go back to the house of David, and you're going to kill me because you can only have 1 king. Jeroboam's the king, and you're like a fake. Jeroboam's the fake king. Rehoboam, he's the real king. It's almost like these little break-offs. Jeroboam's a little break-off, but the Lord made this way because he already remembered that it was already prophesied that this was going to happen. But this is where Jeroboam had messed up, making these 2 golden calves. He was afraid of his own life. Instead of believing in the Lord, he was afraid of his own life, and he turned out this whole people to do sin, trying to save his own little life because he thought they would kill him if they went down to Jerusalem. Verse 29 again. And he set 1 in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan. And this thing became a sin. This thing that he did was a sin to the Most High. For the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. So all the people of the 10 tribes went to worship this thing. He caused all of Israel to sin against the Most High. First Kings chapter 12, verse 31. He did even more than that. He put these golden calves up. Let's go to verse 31. And he made a house of high places and made priests of the lowest of the people. So he took the lowest crackheads and alcoholics. He got the lowest of the people and made them the high priests, which were not son of Levi. So remember, back then you had to be a part of the Levitical priesthood. You had to be a Levite to be a priest. He took the lowest people, the ones that he could manipulate, the ones that he had big influence over, the lowest of the people, and made priests of the lowest. Let me read it exactly what it says. Verse 31, 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 31. And he made a house of high places. He made this big house of high places. He made this what's the word? Woo, my memory's going. I hate to say church, but he made the tabernacle. He made the house of high places and made the priests of the lowest of the people. He took the lowest of the people and made them priests, which were not sons of Levi. So he didn't recognize the Levitical priesthood at the time. He was doing his own thing. And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that was in Judah. So he made a feast just like in Judah. He made another feast of his own at the same time, identical to the feast of Judah, so that the people, the Israelites, would not know the difference. They thinking they're doing the right thing. This is what Jeroboam is doing to his people. They think he's following what the Most High said by making a little fake feast that's almost the same as the real feast. And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that was in Judah. And he offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethel. So these two altars, the golden calves, he did the one in Bethel and the one in Dan. He did the same thing on both of them. He sacrificed unto the calves that he had made, and he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made. So it says, and he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made. These old fake priests that he had made. He made them high priests. Hey, can you get her a chair real quick? So, let me read that again. And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month, at the 15th day of the month, just like unto the feast that was in Judah. And he offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethel. Remember, Bethel where Jeroboam put the one golden calf he made, and he put the other one in Dan. So did he in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves that he had made. So they have them sacrifice. They have the Israelites sacrificing unto these gods that Jeroboam had made. And the only reason he made them, because he thought if they went down to Jerusalem, that they would kill him and go back to Rehoboam. This is why he's doing this. And he caused the whole nation of Israel, the 10 tribes, to sin because of this. So we're at 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 30. We're at verse 32. I'm going to go back to verse 31. And he being Jeroboam, Solomon's servant, who was made king, and he made a house of high places and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. So he made his own priests that weren't Levitical. Verse 32. And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, just like unto the feast that was in Judah. So he made another feast the exact same time as they had in Judah. And you know, they do this today. Like, I had to, let me break right here. Because you have Christmas time, they make Christmas almost at the same time as the Feast of Dedication. They almost make it almost the same time. And then they have the Passover almost the same time as Easter. So this is basically what he was doing. It's like when you have Easter, the church is doing Easter, but they should be celebrating the Passover. And it's at the same exact time. This is exactly what Jeroboam is doing. He's making his own holidays that just happen to be the same time as Israelite, as what Judah is supposed to be doing. And Rehoboam. And Jeroboam, which is a servant of Solomon, ordained a feast in the 8th month, in the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that is in Judah. And he offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethel. With Bethel is where he put that golden calf. And he made 2 golden calves for the Israelites to worship, sacrificing unto the calves that he had made. And he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made. He just made his own priests. He just invented his own priesthood, just out of nowhere. Just poof. He said, you're a priest, you're a priest, you're a priest. He just made his own priesthood. First Kings. We're still in First Kings. We're going to go next chapter, chapter 13. Now, this sin, that's what did them in. That sin, what he had done, and he caused all of Israel to sin doing this. First Kings chapter 13, we're going to jump to verse 33. After this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil way. So after this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil way. So he didn't change his way. He knew this was evil. He kept on doing it. He changed not from his evil way. He kept on doing his evil thing he was doing. And the whole time is only because he was worried about his own life. He thought that if they went down to Jerusalem to worship, that they would kill him as a king and go back to Rehoboam. This is the whole thing he's doing. This is how selfish he is. He's only thinking about himself, and he's condemning the whole nation. The whole 10 tribes he's condemning, trying to save himself. Verse 33, 1 Kings chapter 13, verse 33. After this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil way, but made again of the lowest of the people priests of the high places. He got some more lowlifes to be high priests. Ones for the lowest people. They weren't even Levites. You're supposed to be in the tribe of Levite at this time to be a priest. He just made up his own priests. He made up his own gods. He made up his own feast days. He just made this up on his own and had the people following him. And the people that follow him, they're the ones that are going to suffer. After this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil way, but made again the lowest of the people priests of the high places. Whosoever would, he consecrated him, and he became one of the priests of the high places. It just, whoever wanted to be a priest, he just made him a priest. He didn't have to be part of Levi. He didn't have to be part of the priesthood. He just made anybody. Whoever wanted to follow his directions, he just made you a priest. Hey, you want to be a priest? You want to listen to what I say? Now you're a priest. That's what he was doing. And that was, and if you go up higher, it said that was evil in the sight of the Lord. First Kings chapter 14. We're going to jump to chapter 14, verse 9. And because of this evil, Israel was cut off from the Lord. I'm going to show you what it says here, because this gets into the New Testament. This is the cutoff part when the New Testament says, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it says something like the people who were not a people will be the people who were not a people will be a people again, or something like that. This is right here. This explains what they're talking about right here. First Kings chapter 14, verse 9. But has done evil above all that were before thee, for thou hast gone and made thee other gods and molten images to provoke me to anger. The thing that the Jeroboam had done, it provoked the Lord to anger, and has cast me behind thy back. You mean you threw the Most High away behind his back when he wasn't looking, and you did this behind the Most High's back, and you made these false priests. You made up your own priesthood. You made up your own gods. You just made up this thing. That's what he's telling Jeroboam. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam. Remember, Jeroboam was king of the 10 tribes. Only one that was with Rehoboam, which is Solomon's son, was Judah and Benjamin. And of course, you have some Levites in there, because he got the priesthood in there. You're going to have some Levites in all the tribes. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, as a man take away dung, till it all be gone. So everybody who followed Jeroboam, those 10 tribes, it was going to be taken away as like shoveling some manure and throwing it in the trash can. That's what the Most High is saying he's going to do to the 10 tribes. Therefore, let me read it again. Therefore, behold, this is the Most High speaking. I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam. And the evil was they were cut off up until Christ comes back. They're cut off. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisses against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam. The house of Jeroboam is the 10 tribes. He will take that away. As a man taketh away dung, till it all be gone. Just like a man shoveling some manure in your backyard or around some horses or some dogs, he's going to take the 10 tribes. That's what he said he's going to do. He's casting them out like some dung. First Kings chapter 14, verse 15. So in this verse, God smite Israel, which he hits them hard. He hits them hard and he scatters them because of this. First Kings chapter 14, verse 15. For the Lord shall smite Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and he shall root up Israel out of the good land. And he shall root up Israel out of the good land, which he gave their fathers, and shall scatter them beyond the river, because they have made their groves, provoking the Lord to anger. So he's going to, because of what Jeroboam had done with the 10 tribes, making these false gods, they're having these false prophets, just making his own religion, basically, trying to save his own hide. It says the Most High is going to, it says the Lord shall smite Israel as a reed as a reed is shaken in the water, and he shall root up Israel out of the good land. He's going to root them up and take them out of this good land. This is when they get into captivity, and I think what's the nation above Israel? I can't remember the name. was the nation right above Assyria. The Assyrians, they take them into captivity. So he says, for the Lord shall smite Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and shall root up Israel out of the good land. That's how he roots them up. He puts them in captivity with Assyria, which is the nation above them. And shall scatter them beyond the river, because they have made their groves, provoking the Lord to anger. So they made their own gods. They provoked the Lord to anger. The Lord was mad that they had done this. And not just Jeroboam had done it. The people that followed him had followed it, which is similar to what we have today with the Christian church. It's very, very similar. You have the Christian church making Christmas right around the Feast of Dedication. You got Easter right around Passover time. You're making your feast days almost the same as they were doing in Jerusalem. And this is what Jeroboam had done, but he made up his own gods. In the Christian church, they have your white Jesus with your cross. That's your own God, and they worship that. It's almost the same thing. This is the same thing going on today. But in this time, the Lord scattered them. He didn't like that they were doing that. So if you are a Christian, before the Lord, roots you up and cast you out, you may want to come back to the Lord and come back to these commandments and do what the Bible says. But let me read that again. We're on 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 15. For the Lord shall smite Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and he shall root up Israel out of the good land, which he gave their fathers. So the land he gave their fathers, he's going to root them up out of there, like pulling plants out, pulling the roots out. What he's doing to the 10 tribes because of what they did. And shall scatter them beyond the river. He scattered them out. He just scattered them. They have made their groves, provoking, which is the groves of their fake gods. They made their little fake gods and their fake priesthood. They made their fake religion. And that provoked the Lord to anger. Verse 16. And he shall give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam. So all of Israel had to be punished because of what Jeroboam had done. And not just because of that, the Israelites should have knew better. They should have known. Anybody who knows about the golden calf, why are you worshiping this image that he had? And you got these fake priests, they shouldn't have even followed into it. But because they followed him, everybody who followed him is getting punished also. That's why they were all scattered. And he shall give Israel up. All of Israel, which is the 10 tribes, he will give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, who did sin and who made Israel sin. He made Israel sin. So all Israel is being punished too because he made them sin. He's the culprit, but they followed him. So if you're following a leader that's sinning, you're going to be punished too, because you can't just say, well, hey, I was following him. If your leader is sinning, then you're going to be punished too because you're following it, and everything you're doing against the Most High is a sin. So it says again, and he shall give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, who did sin and who made Israel sin. So the whole 10 tribes got punished for this.
It's heavy what you're bringing out, because this is the stuff they don't teach in the Christian church. And it's the reason why they start to love all the other nations, because they don't understand that we're scattered. From the beginning, the Lord scattered us, then he scattered us again. So we're being scattered throughout the whole earth, different places. So now they're thinking, we can be all these different people. Now it's love everybody. Love everybody. Because they don't teach this right here, what you're bringing out. Heavy point. And the proof is in the pudding that we're all getting punished for one thing. We all get punished for that. Mm-hmm. So people ask, why this happened? Why this happened? Why these children? Why this? Because we still ain't doing right.
Right. So
what you bring out so heavy that the Christians need to get this out, but they won't. That's why ISUPK support that we're doing. You keep doing what you're doing, teaching this truth according to history, because they don't know it. And add to that, I didn't know this when I came to this. I had no idea that the Southern Kingdom was split up. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. So I found the whole spell of God loves everybody. He loves everybody because I didn't know this particular verses that you're bringing out. So it's heavy bringing out these points. Why?
Yeah, because I didn't know it either until I studied it. Because I was into the Christian thing that everybody, all of us, I think all of us was. We all, God loves everybody and all that, and they know what's in my heart and all that. Because I be saying like, God knows in your heart. You might not want him to know what's in your heart. You may that ain't a flex. You may not want to know what you may not want him to know what's in your heart because he
already said, I know your heart is evil. By all means.
It's evil. You don't want him to know what's in there. But Christians, hey, God knows in my heart. Man, you still alive?
All right.
So let me continue with this. So we're going to go to 2 Kings chapter 17. So this whole story is in Kings, First Kings and Second Kings. So we're going to jump to chapter 17, verse 21. For he rent Israel from the house of David. He took it and rented. I mean, he pulled it up. And they made Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, king. And Jeroboam drove Israel from following the Lord and made them sin a great sin. They're just reiterating what First Kings has said, putting it in. No, I'm good right now. I'm good. I've been reading for the past hour or so. I prefer reading it myself. So 2 Kings verse, unless you want to read. You want to read? Okay. 2 Kings verse 17, verse 21. For he rent Israel from the house of David. So Israel is out of the house of David, because remember, the house of David, they only had Judah and Benjamin. That's who the Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, that was the army he got together, Judah and Benjamin. And of course, you have some Levitical priests in there, because you got Levitical priests in all the tribes. So you got some of Levi's in there also. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord and made them sin a great sin. So 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them. So because they didn't depart, they did everything that Jeroboam was telling them to do. They walked in the same sin. The whole tribe, the whole 10 tribes walked in the sins of Jeroboam, because he's the leader. So this shows right here, if you're going to lead somebody, you best lead them in the correct way, because if you're going to be a leader and you lead your people wrong, your whole nation, everybody you're leading is going to get punished. And that's why, go back to these Christian churches, these pastors are like, I know they have like some of these churches now where they have homosexual pastors and stuff. They're leading them into this. Everybody that's following them is going to get punished the same way, because you're following this stuff. And the Bible is, all you gotta do is read the Bible, and everything that you need to know is right in there if you read it. But like I say, most Christians don't even read it. They don't even know what's in here. Because before I read this, I didn't even know this was here. Before I came into UPK, I just read how God loves everybody and God knows what's in my heart, and and Jesus loves everybody. It doesn't matter what you do. Yeah, and then when you start reading it, and it ain't like what you think it is, So I used to tell them Christians, it ain't me doing it. I didn't write it. I'm just telling you what it says. I didn't write this. I'm telling you what it says. If you don't like it, that's, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just reading what it says. You follow it or you don't want to follow it. You want to get punished or you want to, have blessings. This is basically what it is. Anyway, 2 Kings 17, verse 22. For the children of Israel walk in for the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them. So all his followers did everything he did. And what he was doing was a sin. So all his followers were sinning. And the Most High don't have no compassion for anybody who's following somebody into sin. He's not going to have compassion over you. So if your leader is sinning and you follow him, Don't cry when you get punished, the same punishment he's getting. 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 23. Verse 23, until the Lord remove Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all the servants of the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land into Assyria until this day. So Assyria came and captured them, and that's how all the 10 tribes, the whole 10 tribe just disappeared into Assyria, and they just got into captivity. The only thing that was left after that, but when you go into like the Apocrypha, when you get into the Greek area, you just got Judah. That's because the 10 tribes are gone. They went up into Assyria and they're scattered. And of course, when you read further, they go into the ship and they come over to the Americas and all that. That's what happened to the 10 tribes. That's why when you read in the New Testament, you only have Judah and Benjamin and Levi also, because Levitical priesthood is in all the tribes, because that was their priests up until Jeroboam made up his own priests. So I would imagine that the Levites would have went back down into Judah because they're no longer needed, because Jeroboam made his own fake priests that weren't Levites. And we read that earlier in these scriptures. So 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 23. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight. So the Lord removed Israel out of his sight. He didn't want to see them no more. And he had said by all his servants, the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria until this day. So they got put into captivity. 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 30. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all of the day. So that whole time, remember earlier, I was telling you how Rehoboam, son of Solomon, he got an army together with Benjamin and Judah to fight Jeroboam and the 10 tribes. So this whole time they were fighting against each other. All this time they were fighting against each other because Rehoboam, son of Solomon, was trying to get the 10 tribes back. But the Lord already said he was going to be taken from him because of what his father did. So they were fighting the whole time. There was war between them the entire time. Israelites were fighting Israelites. 10 tribes was fighting Judah and Benjamin this whole entire time. They're fighting. They're having war. They're killing each other. So, that being what was going on in Kings with Jeroboam and Rehoboam and Solomon, so we jump up to the New Testament. Because the New Testament talks about this, but the Christian church don't really understand what they're talking about, because you have to know their history before you start reading this New Testament, what they're talking about in here. So we're going to go to Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 14. Verse 14. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us. So this verse right here is talking about, because remember it was already split. I just showed you in Kings chapter 14 verse 30 that there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam. They weren't getting along. They were split. And in Ephesians it says, for he is our peace, talking about Christ, who hath made both one. He took the both. Who are the both? Judah and Benjamin and the 10 tribes. He put them back together, because before that they were fighting each other. They were at war, which was I just read in 1 Kings 14 and 30. And there was war between Rehoboam, which is Judah and Benjamin, and Jeroboam, which is the 10 tribes. All their days, the whole time, all this time, they're fighting each other. And in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 14, it says, for he is our peace, which is talking about in Christ, who hath made both one, and had broken down the middle wall of partition between us. Whatever was going on between them, he brought them back together. Verse 15, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make in himself of twain one new man, so making peace. The twain is the two, the Judah, Benjamin, and the 10 tribes, Judah and Israel. He brings them back together. And that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, which is Christ, having slain the enmity thereby. So whatever was problems between the two, Christ comes to end it. Because remember at the beginning, I was showing you, and I forgot what scripture it was. It was saying that it was going to be split. The Most High was going to take 10 tribes from Judah, from Rehoboam, only for a short time. It wasn't supposed to be forever. And when Christ comes back, it says, having abolished the flesh of enmity, he abolished in his flesh the enmity, which is the problems that they had between them. Even the law of the commandments contained in the ordinances, for to make in himself of twain, the two, which is Judah and Israel, one man, so making peace. He wants to bring these two back together to make one piece, to bring the 12 tribes. No, it's not. Make the 12 tribes together. Verse 16, and that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby. So slaying the problems that these two groups had together, he's with his, it says that he might reconcile both of them unto God in one body. He's going to bring them back together. The 12 tribes, the 10 tribes, and then the Judah and Benjamin, bring them all back together to be 12 tribes again. That's what Christ was doing. And this right here shows, I just showed you the history of how they got split apart. And this is why Christ is bringing them back together again. And that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby. That's in the New Testament. And this is what this verse is talking about, the history I just showed, how they were split. Christian church they think it's something else. They think it's, you have to love white people. They think it's white people and black people together, and this is what they're saying it is. But that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the Israelites, the 10 tribes, Israel, what they call Israel, and then Judah, bringing them back together. That's what this is talking about. This is what Christ was talking about. This is what he was here for, to bring them back together. It's not white people and black people holding hands like Martin Luther King, and that's not what this is saying. So we're going to jump to Hosea, go back to Old Testament real quick. Hosea 4:17. It says, Ephraim is joined unto, remember Jeroboam was an Ephraimite. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. That's why we were supposed to leave them, the 10 tribes, alone. That's why that was the split. That was the fight. Judah and Israel. That was the fight. Because Ephraim had joined to idols, which was the calves that he had made, the 2 calves he had made. And it said he told all of Judah, leave them alone. Don't have nothing to do with them. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 21. Manasseh, Ephraim, Manasseh, and they together shall be against Judah. So again, they were fighting this whole time. The Ephraimites and Manasseh with the 10 tribes were fighting against Judah. They were fighting. I mean, at war, they were killing each other. They were at war. They were fighting against each other. Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, Manasseh, and they together shall be against Judah. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So the Most High is still, even though they're fighting, and the prophecy was given that it was going to be, because of what Solomon did, the 10 tribes was going to be taken away from him. It was only supposed to be for a short time, which I read earlier. It wasn't supposed to be forever. So when Christ comes, well, this is Isaiah saying that Judah, for all this anger, is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. The Most High still has his hand stretched out. Even though all this is going on, the Most High still doesn't hate Israel. He still wants them in. He's punishing them is what he's doing for the sin that he had did following Jeroboam. And of course, if you're going to go back again, 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 30, it says, and there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all their days. So they was at war this whole time. All the time, the whole time I was talking about kings, they're fighting this whole entire time. Because I remember Rehoboam had got an army of thousands, I think 400,000 of Judah and Benjamin to fight against Jeroboam and the 10 tribes. Now, I'm going to go back over this again just to show what had happened. In 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 16, it reads, and they left all the commandments of the God of Lord their God. This is, they're talking about the Jeroboam and the 10 tribes. They left all the commandments of the Lord their God and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove and worshiped all the hosts of heaven and served Baal. This is what the Jeroboam and the 10 tribes was doing. Because remember what I was showing you earlier, the reason why he didn't want the 10 tribes going down to Jerusalem for the Passover was because he thought that they would start wanting to go back to the house of David and they would kill Jeroboam. So Jeroboam was thinking of himself. He was thinking of himself. And he had the whole of Israel do all these things because he was scared that they would go down there and come back to the Lord and kill him as king. 2 Kings verse 17, 2 King chapter 17, verse 18. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. So when he had remember, Rehoboam was part of Judah. And the Lord said, because of what Solomon did, messing with all them women and following all these gods of these different women. Yeah, white women. He was a player. He had white women, Asian women. He had East Indian women. He had Chinese women. He had all kind of crazy women. And he was following their gods. And the Lord said, you're not to do that. And he did it anyway. And so that's why, just reiterating, that's why the Lord told him that the kingship would be taken from him. And that's what by his servant, and Jeroboam was his servant. Just to go over what I already talked about earlier. So 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 20. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel, which is the 10 tribes, rejected the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them to the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight. That's what happened to the 10 tribes. That's why when you get into the New Testament, you're only talking about Judah. This is the reason. But don't mean the rest of the tribe, when Christ comes, he's still trying to get everybody back together because it was only supposed to be for a short time. It wasn't supposed to be forever. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 23. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, and he had said by all his servants, the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. So they were carried away into captivity for following Jeroboam and his fake gods and his fake idols and his fake priesthood and all that stuff that he was doing, and everybody who followed him. Because remember, he was king of Israel with the 10 tribes.
That scripture, John 3:16, which said we talk about whosoever. Can you place all that into the whosoever? Is that what we're talking about?
We'll read it.
God loves the world, he gave his only begotten son, whosoever. Romans 3, verse 16, it says, oh, 3:16? John 3:16, I'm sorry. John. We want to John 3:16, and it says, for the verbatim, it says, for God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe him should not perish but have everlasting life. That whosoever right there in that passage, who are talking about? Could we actually place that all the children of Israel were displaced because of the sins they did? Some didn't make it back into the kingdom because of the things that the sins they did. Some got kicked out of camps, and all the things that you brought out. Is that talking about whosoever, or is that talking about all the world whosoever?
When Christ is talking, he's talking to the Israelites. That's what he's talking about. That's the thing with this. This is when I first came into the truth. That's what I had to realize, that the Bible is about the Israelites. And when you understand that the Bible is about the Israelites, it starts to come together. So when he's saying whosoever, it's all these other people, because remember this tribe, these 10 tribes are all over the place. So they're kicked out. So they're following Zeus, Apollo. They're following, if they're in India, they're following the gold, whatever, the calf, the cow, whatever nation they're in, they're following these things. When Christ comes back, that's why Christ, by right, if we were Christians, by right, we should all be put to death. We're following white Jesus. All of us, I think, had followed at one time white Jesus and celebrated Christmas, but because we can come back, that's what Christ came for. So the Israelites, Christ came back for the Israelites to come back, to bring all the 10 tribes, the 12 tribes back together. And that's where the Christians get it mixed up. They don't realize that the 10 tribes was split. So you got to remember, these 10 tribes that are in other nations, what are they doing? They're living like if you're in India, you're living like an Indian. Just like when you're here in America, you're living like an American. You're following Christmas and Thanksgiving and 4th of July. Those people, you're not supposed to be doing that. So they should be put to death. But because the Christ comes back, he's bringing them back together. They're bringing all this back together because the punishment was only supposed to be for a short time. It wasn't supposed to be forever. He got rid of the 10 tribes. It wasn't supposed to be forever. Christ comes back, bringing them all back. You all can come back. Come on back. Because remember, because when you read the New Testament, it's always Judah. It's always Judah. What happened to the other tribes? They need to come back. That's what Christ is doing. He's bringing them all back. He's bringing everybody back. But it's not bringing what you have to be. It's all about Israelites. So once you realize this, everything in here is about Israelites, it makes the understanding better. Because it ain't about because really though we're talking about Greeks. So that means Chinese can't come in. You have to be a Greek, but they have Israelites who are Greeks. You have Israelites living in China. You got it just like today. You got Israelites living in America. You got them in the churches. They ain't following none of this, but they're still Israelites because Israelites are bloodline. It's not a religion. So that answer your question? So I'm gonna jump to Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 24. For I will take you from among the heathen. This is what we just talked about. This is in Ezekiel. I will take you from amongst the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you unto your own land. So wherever you're at with the heathens, that's where all the Israelites went. They were living with the heathens. He's going to bring them back. Let me read it one more time. For I will take you from among the heathens and gather you out of all countries. He's going to gather you out of all. This is in Ezekiel. This is the Old Testament. They're already prophesying what Christ is going to do. I will take you from among the heathens and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Verse 25. I'm in Ezekiel 36, verse 25. Then I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. Because remember, you're in these different nations. You're following their God. You're following their customs. You're not clean as far as the Lord is concerned. You're not clean. But he said, I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. This is what Christ is doing. He's making us clean again. For all your filthiness and from all your idols, I will cleanse you. Verse 26. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit I will put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. So right there, he's saying he's going to clean you up. He's going to take you out of these heathen nations, which is what he's done most of us. He's going to take you out of that church. He's going to clean you, sprinkle you. He's going to clean you up. He's going to give you a new heart. The new heart is your new understanding of what this Bible is saying. He's bringing you back to this. Whatever these heathen nations have taught you, you have to get rid of that. Like, the biggest thing will be Christmas. No more Christmas. A lot of people, when they first come in, that's a hard thing not to get rid of Christmas. Those of us have been in for a while. I ain't even thinking about Christmas. Yeah, birthdays too. Easter. I'm thinking of Passover. I ain't thinking about Christmas. I used to wait for Christmas. Now I'm waiting for the Passover. The Passover is the big day, and you don't even think about it. You don't think about Easter. You don't think about Christmas because he's giving you a new heart. He's giving you a new spirit. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, that the evilness you have for your own brothers and sisters, that stone heart. He's taking that away and give you a heart of flesh. Verse 27. And I will put my spirit within you. It's the Most High. And cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. So he's talking about the 10 tribes. He's bringing back out, and he's going to put your spirit back into them and give you the laws back and give you this Bible back, and you're going to do with these judgments, and you're going to do them. And he shall dwell in the land that I gave your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. This was a prophecy of what Christ was going to do, because remember at this time when Ezekiel was talking, there's already that split. They're already fighting. The 10 tribes is already gone. They're just, in different nations right now. And he's prophesying how they're going to come back together. So Ephesians chapter 2, verse 14. Chapter 2, verse 14. For he is our peace. Talking about Christ. It's in Ephesians. It's the New Testament. Who hath made both one. Again, the both one. What is it? He's not talking about black people and white people. He's talking about Judah and Israel. The 10 tribes, the 2 tribes, and the 10 tribes. He's putting them back together as one. I have made both one and have broken down the middle wall of partition between us. He's broken down whatever that conflict was between the two. He's broken that down. Verse 15, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments even the law of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make in himself a twain one new man, so making peace. He's bringing the two together again, that he might reconcile both Israel and Judah. He's going to bring them back together. It's not the white man and black man he's talking about. He's bringing the two back together. The 12 tribes come back together. And both, it says, and that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity therein. Whatever was going on, Christ has slain that. He's slain it. He's killed it. Whatever the problem was, bring them back together. Bring that brotherhood back together. So let's go to Romans chapter 5, verse 10. For if, when we were enemies, there it is again. If you don't understand the split, you don't understand who were the enemies. If, when we were enemies, they're talking about black people, white people enemy. That's not what they're talking about, because Israel is the enemies with all nations. They're talking about the enemies, Judah and Israel. That's the enemies they're talking about. For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled by God
by the death of his son, which is Christ, much more being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. So that's what Christ is doing. He's bringing the 12 tribes back together. That's what he's doing. Again, I'm going to jump back to 1 Kings 14 and 30. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all their days. That's just showing this is what they were fighting. That's why I'm showing you the two. This is the two that come back together, because there was war between Rehoboam, which is Judah, and Jeroboam, which is he was the king of the 10 tribes. So you have two kings at this time. Go ahead.
That's Matthew 5:24, where it says, "But I said to love thy enemies." You would break it down right there, because you said we was always in the war to fight each other. So scripture says, "Love your enemies." I say, love your enemies. Let them that curse you, do to them that hate you. Let them despitefully use you and persecute you. What you bringing out? That was us.
Yeah.
You know, the other nations. That was Israel.
Yes.
Judah fighting each other. This and that. We had hatred for each other. We was all fighting all day long. And so now we said, love the enemies. Like he was talking about, at one time we were in, just like you got Simeon and Levi fighting right now. I was trying to bring them back together.
Yeah,
because we're always fighting. So I just want to bring it out.
and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't know in Southern California, Mexicans and blacks do not get along. I don't care what nobody. I mean, as a majority.
Right.
I mean, there are some that do get along, but there are a lot that do not get along. And what people don't realize, like, that's why I made this class. That's what originally I was really speaking about, because blacks and Mexicans in Southern California do not get along. They do not get along. And a lot of people say it's because of gangs, but you don't understand. In California, the gang culture is a lot. A lot of the whole, everybody is immersed in this. There's a gang on every block, and it's big. The gang culture is big. So what they're doing is and they do not. Every time you hear about a riot or a fighting, the racial fighting, it's always blacks and Mexicans in Southern California.
Like if I could, just to reiterate, I was stationed out in Bartow. I was coming back to, I was in the Marine Corps, and I was coming back to the States. I had a layover, like a day layover. So one of my Mexican buddies I was with, he said, "Well, come to my house. You know, you wait for your plane and you be good to go." I'm like, "All right, cool." So when I went to his house, I'm on the way to drive. I'm like, "There, Christian, I want to go down there." "Can't go there." "Why?" "I'm a Mexican."
Yeah.
I said, "I want to go in there." He's like, "Can't go there." "Why?"
Yeah.
"Because I'm black."
Yeah.
So we couldn't go anywhere because we were both black and Mexican. We went to his house, and even when I went to his house, you had Mexicans come and knock on his door, like, "Yo, who is this nigga? Who is this?"
Yeah.
If he wasn't vouching for me, it would
Yeah.
did something to me.
Yeah.
So because I knew him, they were like, "All right, cool. He's good to stay here." That's just how deep it was.
Yeah.
And I did not like California because of that.
Yeah.
Notion. It was just wild. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's back in the 90s and the early 90s.
It goes back farther than that.
Right.
It goes back further, because I got my nephew in high school. They had this big race riot, and he had Mexican friends, but he couldn't. They separated everybody. Mexicans over here. So if you had a friend over there, you couldn't talk to him. They didn't let you talk to him. Because I've had Mexican friends, and I would try to talk to them, and then the brothers would come and say, "You can't talk to him. You're gonna have a problem with us. You got to make up your mind. You got to cut him loose." That's happened to me, because I had a lot of Mexican friends, but then I can't talk to them. I'd be telling them, "Hey, I'm not allowed to talk to you. I'm gonna have a problem with these dudes," and that's just how it is. So that's why when I put this together with the Israel and Judah, that was the spirit I was thinking of in there. But a lot of people don't really realize how deep that is out there.
That's deep. It's all scripture.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right there. Damn.
It's fighting.
Wow.
So that's why I put this class together. When I first put it together, that's what I was thinking about. So anyway, I don't know how they do in New York. I don't. I've only I was in New York when I was a little kid, so I don't really understand. I know that blacks and Puerto Ricans get along, I guess. I don't really know. I don't really.
And you still have, like you said, culturally, Mexicans, they just don't like black people. Culturally.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have grandma come from Mexico and never met a black person.
Yeah.
They'll tell you stay with black people because they're indoctrinated about black people. So they're not even showing no one Mexican, one black friend, one black person, but she'll tell you stay away from that black person.
Yeah.
Because of the doctrine. But when you're in the melting pot, New York, it's kind of not as heavy as it is over there because everybody's together and doing things. So it's not as heavy as it is in California, but it is still going.
Yeah.
You know, and that's heavy that you should say that because New York, when they come from New York, when they go through the immigration line, you know, it's like they tell them, you know, watch out for the blacks in America.
Yeah.
You know, they tell them that. So you're right, it is indoctrinated into them soon as they come through the gates.
So we'll never get that type of racism out of them unless they get that indoctrination out of them first.
Right.
And like being started with the ISUPK, getting here, we had our Mexicans together with brothers. You know, we doing it. And
Yeah.
through this school and through the power of the Most High Christ, that's what we're breaking. We're bringing these scriptures to life. Like we're forgiving our enemies. And so that's why we're trying to do this more with our people. So what you bringing out and what inspired you to have this class is heavy. It's a heavy deal.
Yeah, because you got to realize too, like in some of the South American countries, you had Spain colonized this. So Spain set up a caste system. I don't know if people don't understand the caste system. You had people who were born in Spain at the top. Then Spanish people who were born in Mexico is next. Then you had the mestizos who were mixed with indigenous and Spanish. They're next. Then Negro's at the bottom. Right? And that's what Spain did. And Spain was colonized all of South America. They colonized, they had a lot of, they were strong back in the colonial days. They had a lot.
It's still strong over there right now. They got the streets named after them.
So Spain.
They love them.
Yeah. So some of that Spanish culture is still in the so when they come from Mexico, they still bring some of that over here. So when they're here in America, you know, it's not, you know, they're indoctrinated American. You go to school, you know, we all go to school with them, and it's a little different. But when they come from Mexico, you know, they still have that idea, and it has to be, you know, somebody has to address it. That's why I'm bringing it out, because it has to be addressed, you know, because we're all supposed to be, you know, one, and they got to get rid of that Spanish influence, the conquistadors. They're Spain. Spain is Esau.
Right.
You know, Spain is Esau. So anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that. So let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 10. But ye are a chosen people, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. So right here, Peter's talking about the people who were considered Israelites, who were heathens. You're following everybody. You're following, like for us, we say we're the ones that Christian. We're following Christmas and 4th of July and Thanksgiving and all that. He said, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness. He called us out. All of us in UPK, we've been called out of the darkness to understand these scriptures, the light of these scriptures. And ye shall, it said, have called out of the darkness into the marvelous light. Verse 10, which in time past were not a people. So who was not a people in time past? That's the ones we just talked about that. This is what the scripture is talking about. It's not talking about white people who were not Israelites. That's what the church is teaching you. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God. It was the Israelites that were cast away, who were brought back. That's who this is talking about, who are not the people of God, but which had not ordained, who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. We just showed you how the Most High just plucked the 10 tribes and threw them out like they were dung. They didn't have mercy. Now that they didn't obtain mercy, they didn't have mercy then. Now they obtain mercy. That's in 1 Peter. This is what the scripture is talking about. It's not talking about everybody. Go back to the Old Testament, Hosea chapter 1, verse 11. Let's go to verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said to them, ye are not my people, where was it said? We just went through the whole history of it. God said, you're not my people no more. I'll cast you out. Where it was said, you are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living God. Verse 11, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together. It was already prophesied in Hosea. The children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. So, of course, we know when Christ comes, they bring them all together. It's right here. This was already prophesied right here. I'm going to read it one more time. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, the ones who've been fighting all this time, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and shall come up out of the land. Let's go to Hosea chapter 2, verse 23. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. Who didn't obtain mercy? That was the 10 tribes. I will give mercy back to them. That's the prophecy. That's what God was going to do. And I will say to them, which were not my people, who was not, it's not talking about whites and Asians, and I ain't talking about that. The ones who were not their people was the 10 tribes that were cast out of his sight. And I will say to them, which were not my people, thou art my people. And they shall say, thou art my God. Remember, these punishments are only supposed to be temporary. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 21. Manasseh Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh, and they together shall be against Judah. Again, this is what they were talking about, the two together. For all this anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Now, so we talking about how bad the Judah was. I mean, Israel was. But now Judah wasn't. They were. Judah wasn't all perfect angel either. Okay. Before we start talking about, hey, bad on you, Israel. It says in Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's not the one I wanted. Oh, what did I do with that? What did I do with that scripture? Oh, that wasn't the scripture I wanted. Hold on a minute. I don't know. Maybe you can find it for me. There's a scripture that says how Judah was. What did it? What? What's in the scripture I wanted? Oh man, I can't remember that. But let me see if I can find it. Hold on a minute. It was something about Judah. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 minute. It was Judah. What did Judah do? Judah did something that was against the Lord also. Hold on a minute. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't have that scripture. I can't remember what it was. Well, anyway, I'm going to have to find that one out at a different time. I can't remember. I thought I had it in here. I don't remember where it is. Oh well, we're just gonna have to point the finger at Israel today. But I had one. I had one about Judah. I don't know what I did with it. Well, anyway, what time is it here? We're gonna end the class. We're gonna pass the class over to what's the name again? Mawarsal. We're gonna pass the class over to Mawarsal.
ISUPK security announcement. Your ISUPK started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Group for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off them for 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if your brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, my Isra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you gets to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, we will offer for priests, not mandatory whatsoever, ever not through life. Upcoming holy convocations is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. We might Akim and Nakwa to take the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the suits, are wearing all black, blue shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. With that, you want courtesy salute to the men of Israel, Masha. March Shabbat. March. Rock. Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Who's that translation from Hebrew to English? Lord bless you. In the name of Christ, God's on top. Hands down. SARS. Turn to the sisters. Give one courtesy salute to the sisters in class. Men of Israel. March Shabbat. March. Rock. Yahweh Shema. Shem Yahshua. Hashem. Yahweh Shah. Swati. Yahweh Shamar. Awafam. Yahweh Shai. Rakapah.
Put your hands like this. There you go.
And we say translate from Hebrew to English. The Lord watch over you in the name of Christ. Down the top, hands down, clap dismissed. Right.
Cause brother, I'm sorry I got there late. Yeah.
No, so brother said he's coming, didn't even show up.
Yeah, no, I was coming. I had a little
What you gonna do about this? Where you gonna go or not?
Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh man,